Greetings, friends. We wish to speak about the Great Awakening taking place on the earth at this time, and all that is possible when you allow Spirit to come through. In truth, Spirit is always coming through, but just as with your stereo or phone, the volume must be turned up for you to be able to hear the guidance being broadcast. Much of humanity is walking around with the volume down on your spirit channel, and the volume up on the myriad channels that are present on the earth plane today. We understand that. The apparent reality of the earth plane causes humanity much confusion about who you are, why you are here, how to behave, what is the best use of your time while on the planet, and what is truly possible. As we have said, none of what you focus on is inherently wrong. God doesn't have specific plans for you other than that you live with an open heart. But so much of what humanity focuses on is what we would call closed-hearted fear. This vibration turns the volume of spirit way down. Thus, you move about your lives without being aware of how much higher guidance is constantly available to you. You allow yourselves to be limited by the fear that you are not enough, that you are not living correctly, that you have disappointed or hurt others, that you are not worthy of love, and so on. We have said many times before that fear is the opposite of love, and we have said that love is all you truly are. This is not new information. But what is new is the strength of the energy of divine love available to you now at this very point in the Earth's long history. Humanity is receiving this energy from the very center of the universe. Quite literally, everything on the earth plane at this time is being showered with an amplified and intensified frequency of divine love. As a result, the resonant frequency of all matter is being quickened. Even more important, this energy resonates with dormant energies within your very DNA, unlocking the potential to raise your own vibration and illuminate your world every moment. Yes, everything on earth is being illuminated by high frequencies of divine love. When you hear about the apparent increase in darkness on the planet, know that the darkness is not increasing. Rather, darkness is becoming more visible through the illumination caused by higher frequencies of light. Yes, darkness is receding on earth. There is less of it than there was 10 years ago, 100 years ago, and 1,000 years ago. But you are seeing the darkness now where before you did not. Here's an illustration. Imagine there are 100 excited dogs in a room, and they are all running amok, barking, howling, and chasing each other. And imagine you are looking into that room through a window, but it is dark in there except for a small spotlight that illuminates about 5 dogs at a time. You might think, wow, there are 5 or 6 dogs in there all running amok. But there are really 100. Let's say next door there is another room that has 50 dogs in it who are also running about and causing all sorts of mayhem. This room is very well lit, so you can see all the dogs at once through the window. The sight of 50 dogs makes this room seem way more chaotic and perhaps more frightening than the first. The first room, however, has twice as much chaos in it. You simply can't see it all. So you assume the second room is the more concerning of the two. This is an apt and fun analogy for the dark and light quotient on the planet at this time. There is less darkness than there has been in past times, but it is far more visible than ever before. This is ultimately a good thing because a problem can only be cleaned up once you see it. So rather than becoming upset by what you see, bless your ability to see it, and give thanks that humanity is now in a position to deal with that which was previously hidden. Love is winning, and it will continue to do so. Darkness will no longer be able to hide because of the amplification of illumination on the planet today. Yes, love is winning, and it will not fail. The momentum is already too great. Although there may appear to be a greater chaos for a time, it will no longer seem normal and acceptable to the majority of humanity. A limited perspective about what is truly possible has caused it to seem normal in the past. Consider all that has been part of the human experience throughout your recorded history: conflict, struggle, conquest, scarcity, disease, depression. These things have defined much of the human experience for quite a long time, and thus it is imprinted in your psyche and in your very DNA. But now humanity is receiving the transmission of greater frequencies of divine love than have ever been available. From the central sun at the center of the universe, through the central sun of your galaxy, and through the sun at the center of your solar system, these light frequencies come. This intensified and direct transmission to the Earth is possible because of how the Earth is now aligned with the central suns in space, and thus these frequencies are bathing the Earth in divine love, which is then illuminating your very DNA. You can amplify your trillions of cells' ability to receive and integrate these frequencies as often as you wish by visualizing them and giving the command, illuminate. The effect is like turning up the brightness of your internal radiance full blast. This not only enhances your biological structure, but it enhances the ability of your physical mind to perceive clearly. The physical mind of your personality perceives only the 4D world of time and space, as we have said. This is the least real of the multi-dimensional planes in which you exist, and there are many of them. But the heightened frequencies of divine love bathing the Earth at this time bring with them the potential for much greater awareness of the higher dimensional realities that reflect more of who you truly are as a divine being in a human body. The simple mantra of illuminate will activate and accelerate your ability to receive, integrate, and amplify these frequencies at the cellular level. Your cellular structure in turn will illuminate your mind's ability to comprehend this divine alchemy. Thus, it illuminates the mind's ability to perceive your multidimensionality, to know that you are your I Am presence in the physical body, and to abide in the consciousness of both the 4D and the higher dimensional realities simultaneously. Why does this matter? We'll explain through a practical example. Say you are at a party and you're speaking with somebody who is still operating from a limited spiritual consciousness. That person is going on and on about politics and something they disagree with. Perhaps they're not happy with something somebody did or said about their candidate, and they're really fired up about it. Or they think someone or some group was unfairly targeted or suppressed, and now they're calling out the whole system of government. The more they say about it, the more agitated they become, and the more agitated they become, the less you want to engage with them. We giggle a little bit at this idea because from the multidimensional point of view, it is like being really invested in a board game. The game is supposed to be fun, but maybe you think someone didn't play fair or something didn't go the way you had planned, and so you get so caught up in your story that you're unable to separate your disappointment over it from the fact that this is just a game you're supposed to be enjoying. Your chosen reality at that moment keeps you from being able to have fun anymore. This isn't so different from how many people on your planet go through life. It's supposed to be enjoyable, but their stories about all the wrongs or injustices become the focus, and then they won't allow themselves to have fun anymore. But getting back to this fellow at the party, he's on a holy rant now. But you as an awakened one, as an illuminated one who is conscious of your higher self, conscious of your ability to recognize your higher mind simultaneously with your physical mind in the body, do not get sucked into this drama at all. You simply listen and allow this one to have his chosen reality. Maybe you nod your head and maybe you shake your head, but you're listening and receiving him, and when he seems to have blown himself out, you say, "Is that so? I see that it upsets you. I'm sorry for that." You are able to do this objectively, neither affirming nor denying his drama, because you have a much bigger awareness of what is taking place. You know that what seems so meaningful to this person is almost meaningless to Spirit. Spirit is only concerned with the circumstance as a means for this person to grow into their own higher awareness should they choose to do so. It may be important for this one to experience the world in a way in which he is experiencing it. It is perhaps part of his path to awakening to move through these perspectives and come to the understanding that they really are no important than the disappointments he might experience while playing a board game. As we have said, all of it is important and none of it matters. Perhaps through disillusionment, or perhaps through pure fatigue, this one will remain invested in his drama for only so long. Eventually he will reach the perspective that the apparent drama exists only for his personal growth, and that his particular point of view on the drama is no more or less meaningful than any other point of view from the perspective of spirit. It's just stuff that's happening. And from your illuminated perspective, you are able to clearly see this, devoid of judgment. You know that none of what he is ranting about has the ability to somehow muck up your life. You know that you're not somehow going to be unhappy or unfulfilled or unable to complete your divine mission on the planet. Free of such limiting perspectives, you feel the energy of divine love coursing through you. You know that you are one with all that is, and thus you know there is room for this fellow's experience, for it is also part of all that is. At the same time, you choose to illuminate and see it from the higher perspective. You choose to embrace your own magnificence and see only the magnificence in this fellow, regardless of how negatively he may be expressing himself in this moment. And when you feel this strongly in your heart and radiate the benevolent energy of divine love out to this confused one, even as you stand there and listen to him, his energy doesn't drag you down. Instead, he may walk away a little bit more uplifted, because you received his fear and transmuted it with love rather than amplifying it through resistance. And because you did not validate his story of how wrong things are, perhaps he walks away with a greater feeling that things are actually starting to improve. This is the perspective of illumination. This is the perspective that the new energy is bringing in, and this energy is flooding your physical mind with the ability to choose illumination in any given moment and leave others feeling more illuminated as well. This is one reason we say that more systems on your planet will fall in the coming years. As more people illuminate, they will opt out of systems that do not resonate with their higher vibration, and thus these systems will be unsustainable. Several years ago, you might have engaged this fellow at the party and said, "Yes, it's terrible what they're doing, and another thing I don't like is," and blah, 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 blah. But you won't do that now. You will simply refuse to be a part of that way of operating in the world. More people are now able to see the darkness on your planet for what it is, and more will continue to awaken to this greater vision. They will be more aware of how much darkness there truly is, and also more aware of their ability to choose their response to it at any time. This is what is happening now. This is the Great Awakening. And this awakening will give rise to many new creations, new paradigms, and new structures that resonate with the frequency of the divine love that is illuminating humanity's bodies and minds. Humanity is stepping into a place of possibility and choice unlike any seen before on this planet. When humanity turns away from a dark thing and asks, "What else is possible?" the universe answers with a flood of new potential, previously unknown discoveries, and solutions to yesterday's problems. We have already said that if humanity would simply choose to forgive any and all things you hold yourself in a vibration of resistance toward, if you would choose illumination, you would break the dam that holds back so much more divine assistance than you have previously allowed. This assistance is waiting to burst forth and flood your consciousness if you will but allow it. Fortunately, because of the divine love flooding the planet now, allowing it is easier than it has ever been. The snowball is rolling down the hill and gaining speed, and more people are opting out of the old systems and the old ways of thinking. This is why many of the old ways have already fallen, or their ability to influence the minds of others has been greatly diminished. Like the room with the 50 dogs running amok, you can see all of the old, limited paradigms clearly now, so it seems like there is more chaos than existed in past times. But it is actually less chaos that is simply more visible. You can see all of it for what it truly is, just like the dogs and the ranting of that fellow at the party. Your task is to keep in the forefront of your physical mind the awareness that you are divine consciousness in full control of your reality at all times. You are the illuminated sons and daughters of God on earth who co-create your reality with all that is. So create wisely. Create with an open heart and a full knowing that all of the abundance God has to offer is available to you and to each and every person on this planet at all times without fail. Let that be your mantra. Let that truth be visible in your countenance. Let that be how you show up in the world. Choose to eliminate your own body and mind and amplify the divine love on the planet at all times and everywhere you go, for this is why you are here. Receive. embody, and amplify the frequencies of divine love being expressed from the very center of the universe, through the center of your galaxy, and through the center of your solar system, wave upon wave upon wave of unending divine love. Receive it, embody it, and amplify it. Illuminate. This is how you are changing the world. And we thank you, and we wish you blessings on your journey.